So what was the mood of the team yesterday when you guys had your day off Sunday? Came back to practice yesterday?
Yesterday was good. I think everybody was pretty excited about the Cincinnati game and the crowd, and really appreciative of the students getting out early and buying tickets. But they worked hard yesterday. We're going to work hard today.
Can you give a sense of what it's been like for the last few days, just walking across campus, or people stopping you when you're out doing things, just the change in the conversations that you're having?
Well, look at this. I mean, this hadn't happened at SMU. This is like when I was at Kansas or UCLA, and it was probably after a loss. So, no, I mean, one, obviously Saturday, and the reaction of the students and the fans it was special and great for our players. But yesterday morning was the best, going by Lloyd and then the football stadium and seeing all the students out there getting tickets for the Houston and Central Florida game, and how excited they were. That was the most special thing about everything.
Having done this, Larry, on the pro level and the college level, the atmosphere that's been created here at Moody, how much of a difference does it make for a group of college guys, your team specifically?
Well, I don't think we would have beaten Connecticut or, Cincinnati without the backing we had from the student body. I hope they understand that, because the environment does matter with college kids. I even think on a professional level, you get people supporting your team and appreciating what you're trying to do. It means a lot to these kids, and especially when a lot of our players haven't experienced this before. So I hope the students and fans understand that they did make a difference. And then, I think we all were hopeful that, we would have the kind of program that people would want to come to our games and support our teams. It's happened a little quicker than we had thought, but the opportunity here is so great, and I think we just got to keep getting better.
And Coach, I went back, I actually looked at a little tape myself, and at the very end of the game, when you saw the kids rushing onto the court, it looked like your first reaction was to maybe no, or what was going through your mind at that moment, Larry?
Well, every time I've been on a court at Kansas or UCLA, they stormed the court after we lost. The only two times I've ever been on a court where they stormed it was one when I was at Duke. I got into a fight, and the fans stormed the court, and then in Detroit in that horrible day at the Palace. So I thought, Tim grabbed me, Tim Jankovic. I thought he was going to give me a hug and say, "Way to go, Coach," but he was trying to warn me. I didn't anticipate that, but when it happened, I was really caught off guard.
Larry, the Cowboys coaching staff just passed by here. Why'd you have them out?
Well, Jason invited me out last fall, and I watched him practice. And Jason and I go back a ways. His brother married a friend of my daughter's, which was pretty neat. And then I always want to learn from other coaches, and he was really receptive and helpful to me. He'd come to one of our practices last year as well. And then, he just asked. The other night he called and said he wanted to come to a game, and he brought Tony and his wife, and our kids were so excited. And then he just, thought he'd bring his staff today, and we just kind of visited about different ideas. I'm always anxious to learn, and he's amazing in that respect.
One of the assistant coaches stuck his head in here when they were walking down. He says, "Hey, we've jumped on the bandwagon. That's got to make you feel good."
Well, I don't know if it's a bandwagon, but we're trying to do something that I think would be pretty neat. We want to be a premier program You know, I look at the Mavericks, I look at the Cowboys. When you're around franchises that are successful, there's a sense of pride being here. So, you know, we're the only Division I school in Dallas. The potential here is great. I'm just hopeful we can make people proud of what we're trying to do.
I know it all goes back to teaching for you, Larry. What do you think about Jason's teaching style and his coaching style?
Well, you know, that's what we talked about today, and he's got the same values that I was taught. You know, I said this a number of times, but you play for Frank McGuire and Dean Smith and John McClendon, Mr. Iba, Pete Newell. You know, their values are all the same. It's about making players better and teaching, and Jason's all about that. And he's a great role model for me because he really cares. You know, I listened to what he said. He's always positive about his team, and you know, I went out to their practice facility. They respect those players, and I think they all want to play for him, and that's the first step.
Do you think with a team like that?
From New Jersey, the Rutgers Tigers. How well do you know Eddie Jordan, and what advice would you have for him about building up a program from scratch as you have?
I don't hear very good, so.
He talked about Eddie Jordan building a program from scratch. Coach, what advice?
Well,
you have?
he's facing the same, you know, challenges we are, and he's a really capable coach and a great guy. He'll get it done. You know, I think they're on the right track.
All right, Coach, Yannick Herrera got some limited playing time in the last game. What do you see his role as he's coming back from injury in the future?
He's just got to get healthy. You know, I don't want him to play unless he's 100% close to it, and I don't think he's there yet. But we need him. Fortunately, you know, Ben and Cannon, Sean, and Marcus give us depth, but you know, if we're going to go forward and continue to get better, he's got to be a part of that.
You spoke earlier about the impact that your fans have had. Now you're going on the road as a nationally ranked opponent. What have you and your staff talked about with the players about how to handle that bullseye that'll be on them from the fans and the atmosphere they'll see?
Well, we're going to say, let's not let them storm the court. No, I don't know. You know, when you're a great program, every night it's a big game, no matter where you play. And I think it's a learning experience, you know, having kids understand how to deal with success. And it's much more difficult to win games you're expected to win than come to Moody and have a crowd like we had and beat Connecticut and Cincinnati. So it's part of a growing process, but the only way to, you know, to handle a situation like Rutgers is to play your best and just build on the things that you know give you the best chance to win.
One last thing about the Cowboys, Coach. They've been close, and they've been getting close to getting over that hump, but haven't gotten there. When you talk to Jason about that, I'm sure he's probably picked your brain about that. Is there any advice you try to give him about trying to get players from that level to that next championship level?
Well, I mean, you know, I told Jason that the way they were going down with injuries that they might ask me to play the defensive line. You know, you can't overcome the injuries that they had. So, but the thing that we talked about, and Coach Kiffin, and that I listened to, is it's all about teaching, making kids better. You know, on the professional level in college, you don't always have all the guys that you want, so the most important thing is teach them up and make them better, and how kids accept coaching. So, you know, my goal every day is to go to practice, and hopefully our staff will make our kids better, and I think they feel the same way. Because, you know, you look around, everybody's not a first-round pick, and you're getting a lot of kids, you know, with potential, but if they're not coached, if they're not taught, potential will get you beat.
We got time for one or two more.
Thanks, Coach.
Talk about Sterling Brown's performance and how he's matured, you know, quickly this season and playing a starting role, playing great defense. And
Well, I don't think you know, guys like him and Sean, Ben, you don't recognize their value based on looking at a stat sheet. And Sterling does all the little things. He guards every night. He makes great decisions, makes all hustle plays. I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of all our freshmen because it's one thing being in Conference USA. You know, like people ask me, are you surprised, you know, with how you guys have played? I'm really surprised. I thought we'd be better, but I also realized we were going into a different conference. I didn't imagine we'd have the record we have right now, but, you know, Sterling was recruited to play in the Big East, and it's not easy for a freshman to do that, and he's done a great job.
And Coach, with Nick Russell, he was here whenever we had 13 wins this season and stuck around with you, and he's really been such a leader, especially as just one of two seniors. Can you tell us what you're most impressed with him about?
Well, I mean, I feel the happiest about our team and the success we've had and the way that people have responded for Nick and Sean. Because they really are the ones that have set the tone and set the example for all these young kids. And they've been through a lot, you know, and to see the response we've gotten from the community and the students, I'm happiest for them. This is their last year, and every day we go in there trying to make it special for them. But he's defended as well as any guard in America. You know, because you look at the guards in this conference, every night he's playing against a special player. And he's done a remarkable job.